Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Amara's kitchen. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make the most creamy cheese chicken mushroom. Yes, very simple, very easy, but so delicious. Stay tuned. Alright guys, to start this recipe we'll be needing some bell pepper, and we'll also be needing some spicy peppers, some onions. So I'll be using one large Scotch bonnet pepper, and I'll be using some ginger and 3 cloves of garlic. So, and I'll be adding 1 stock cube. I'll be using none to be precise. You can use whatever you want, so you can use whatever kind of vegetables you have. As you can see, I'm using the bell pepper, the green one, the yellow one, and the orange one, and also the red one. So you can use whatever vegetable you prefer. So I'll go ahead and blend everything up until they are well smooth, a little bit kind of rough, not all the way puree. It has some roughness in it. So I'll be using some chicken thighs. So this is my seasoning that I'm using. You can use any seasoning of your choice, because whenever you cook you have a seasoning that you prefer to use. So go ahead and use that, but if you want my seasoning, the kind I'm using, I'll put them up on the screen right there, so you can have a list of them in case you want to use it. But like I said, feel free to use any favorite seasoning of your choice. It's completely okay to do that. So once I'm done seasoning this properly with the spices, I'll go ahead and add my blended vegetables and the onions, garlic, ginger, the stock cube. So I'll go ahead and rub them in, massage them properly until everything is well combined. As you can see, I'm wearing my gloves because there is some Scotch bonnet pepper in that. You don't want to use your hands. So once everything has been well combined, I'll go ahead and use my plastic wrap and wrap them up properly and secured, and I'll place them in my refrigerator for a couple of hours. But if you're doing this at night, you can leave it till the next day. So I did mine at night, so I let it sit in my refrigerator till the next day. So I brought it out. So it has been well marinated right now. It's so seasoned right in and out. So in a saucepan, I'll go ahead and add about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Then I'll add 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter, but even if you have yours in the refrigerator, that's fine. You can still put it there, it will melt. So once the butter is completely melted, I started adding my chicken. So first of all, I'm placing them, the skin facing down. Then I'll go ahead and top that up with black pepper, just a little, spice or seasoning, and I'll add some rosemary, fresh rosemary. So this is like rosemary from my garden this last summer. So I freeze them up in my freezer and I use them whenever I need to. I still have a lot of them left in my freezer, so that's the benefit of having your own garden, right? Yes guys. So while that is cooking, I have my vegetables chopped up. So these are like potatoes. I have the sweet potato, I have the red one, and the Irish potato. So it's kind of a combination of mixed potatoes. So I'll go ahead and warm up the remaining half of the butter that I use 1 stick, half for the meat and 1 for the potato that I'm gonna be baking as well. So once the butter is completely melted in the microwave, I added them into the sauce. that I use to season my chicken. So I mix them up, then I pour in my potatoes, then I mix everything up properly. So the spatula wasn't doing a good job, so I have to use my hands to make sure that it's well combined. So once I have every single thing combined just the way it looks right now, I'll go ahead and transfer them in a baking pan. You can grease your pan with butter, but I don't think it was necessary because the potato already has butter in it, so I don't think it will have any problem with sticking. So, but you can still grease it with butter or non-sticky oil, or it's okay, whatever you feel like doing, that's fine. So I'll go ahead and slightly cover this up with aluminum foil and then place them in my oven in 355 Fahrenheit. So back to the chicken. So it has been cooking for about 5 minutes. So I'll go ahead and flip them over to cook on the other side. So you can see that brown color. Yeah, looking so nice. So once I'm done flipping them over to the other side, I'll go ahead and cover this up again and let it cook on that side for another 4 minutes. So while it's cooking, we'll go ahead and get our mushroom ready. So I'll go ahead and wash it and have it cut up. So it's all ready right now. So we'll go back and check the chicken right now to see how it's doing. So I think the chicken is the chicken is pretty much cooked at this point. So I'll go ahead and get all of them out of the oil. So the next step, I'll go ahead and add in my mushroom. So I do not like my mushroom being so saggy, like cooking for so long. So I do not like my mushroom to be cooked so long. So I added them in. Then I'll go ahead and crush in some ginger. Then I'll also do the same, 2 cloves of garlic as well. So once I'm done adding the ginger and the garlic, I'll go ahead and stir this up properly. Then I will let it sit for 1 minute, and after 1 minute, you don't want to cook this more than a minute, because unless you want your mushroom to be very soft, like very saggy. So, but I don't like my mushroom being so saggy at all. So I still want my mushroom for me to bite it and I feel like I'm eating something. So after 1 minute, I took all of them out from the oil. So I'll go ahead and add onions. So this is like the purple onions, finely chopped. So I'll add that and let it cook for about a minute, or until the onions becomes translucent. Then I'm adding 2 cups of whole milk. You can add heavy cream or you can add skim milk. It depends on how you want it. So I'll be adding 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Like I said, we're making very creamy cheese here. So I'm adding 1 full cup of mozzarella cheese. So I'll go ahead and mix this up. So like I said, what I added is 2 cups of whole milk, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, and 1 full cup of mozzarella cheese. So I'll cover that up to bring it to a boiling point. So once they start boiling, I'll go ahead and stir them up properly. Then I'll be adding 1 cup of chicken stock. Then I'll cover this up and let it boil again. So after 2 minutes it has started boiling again, so I'll come back and I will stir that up, making sure it's not sticking at all. Then to taste, I'm adding half a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. Yeah, chicken flavor bouillon. If you don't have that available, you can definitely use non-cube. So I gave it a taste and it was tasting amazing at this point. So it's time for me to return the chicken back into the sauce. So I have the chicken back in, so I have to make sure they are well buried into the sauce so they can season or steam right into the sauce. So the seasoning from the sauce is gonna go inside the chicken. The same thing with the seasoning from the chicken will go right into the sauce. So here I have my vegetables, that is the potatoes that I'm baking. So they look so nice, and believe me guys, this tastes so amazing. So as you can see, the fork can easily go through it, so that means they are ready to go. They are all done. So once everything is well stirred up and combined together, I just want to give it a taste to make sure I have enough salt or pepper or whatever that I would need. So I just have a little bite of it. So at this point I thought that I needed a little bit of salt, so I went ahead and sprinkled in some salt. So but if you give your own a taste and it feel like it's okay, you don't need a salt, you don't need to add any. So I thought I needed some, so I gave it a taste and I put it back in my oven while the oven is now off. So back to this chicken sauce. So the chicken is ready and the sauce has thickened up a little bit. So the size seems to be a little too big. Yeah, the chicken size seems a little bit too big. So I'll go ahead and cut them up into two. As you can see, after cutting them up, it's like, let me say, about 9 to 10 pieces. So I return my mushroom inside the sauce at this point. Then I'll cover them up and let them cook for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Nothing more than that. Like I said, I don't like my mushroom being too soft or even saggy at all. So I still want to have that crunchiness in my mushroom. So guys, I'm also cooking some pasta that can go with this, and also making some beans and some vegetable sauce. Yeah, so I'm actually making a meal prep that will go for like a week. So after a minute to 2 minutes, I went ahead and add my green onions and the dish is ready. I'll go ahead and turn my stove off and we're ready to go. So I'll go ahead and dish the food out right now. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have 7 plates, 7 meal prep plates that I'll be eating for the next 1 week. And I'll be eating like once a day for the next 7 days. Yes, once a day. And this is what it look like. So I can put it in my freezer. Each day I will grab one. So I'll eat them depending on when I'm hungry for the day. So I hope that works. Alright guys, for now I'll go ahead and dish myself some. So this food, you can actually eat it with this potato. It goes over, the sauce goes over the potato like this. Or you can as well use pasta. The sauce goes over the pasta. Or you can even use this with toasted bread. You can make a garlic bread. This can go with it as well. So there are so many options you can actually use this sauce for. You can even use it for steak. If you make a homemade steak, you can pour this over your steak and it tastes amazing. So this sauce is so great for so many options that you can even think about. So but right now I'll just go ahead and have this as my dinner. So I'm just showing you guys another option. You can just make a bread toast. It doesn't have to be garlic toast, but if you have a garlic toast bread, that would be great. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you all so much, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye bye.